You know, I think you'd make a instant reference to it with freedom in a way that encourages cultural change. It is consistent in what it believes, and through its messaging, it's built a swarm of hogs that live and breathe Harley, and it's very unique in that messaging, very consistent, very true to itself. Apple is another example which, you know, comes up time and time again at branding and advertising and marketing conferences, but I think the one insight to be shared with Apple is how often it fails. And yet its you know, consumer population, its brand advocates, its swarm gives it permission to fail. Pricing on the iPod, voice recognition software. I'm sure all of us can name, you know, half dozen cases where they fell on their face, but somehow they remain successful because once again their swarm has given them permission to fail. VW is a great example. It's a brand that has always sort of communicated that its brain stands over its brawn because it's not one of the largest automotive companies in the world, but certainly one of the more successful. We've been with them since the early days of the Think Small with Bill Bernbach, which is part of the DDB in our name, to the Lemon ads of the 1960s fame. They've always expressed a sense of wit and charm in their communications. And that has really driven its swarm through the years. And I'm going to show you a more timely example from our DDB office in London. It centers on the theme that the polo car gives you confidence. When outside the car, the dog, who is the star of this, can barely sing a note, but inside the car, that's another story. Take a look at this, and I just want to preface, no dog was harmed in the filming of this ad.
Well, my pad is very messy, and there's whiskers on my chin, and I'm on the music, and I always play the wind. I ain't got no time for loving, cause my time is always the stuff just to sit around creating all that groovy kind of stuff. Well, I'm a man, yes I am, and I can't help but love you so. Well, I'm a man, hey, yo.
Small car gives you confidence to drive on the highway. It took me a while to get it too. Sometimes the advertising goes right over my head. But what brings all these brands together is not their size, but it's really their influence. You know, Harley isn't the largest seller of motorcycles. VW isn't the largest seller of cars, but they all believe in something, and they've built brand communities over time that have evidenced that. So this brings me to perhaps the most important point about engaging a swarm in your brand. You need to build a strong established brand if you want to attract them. And let's take a look at the case of IKEA, one that certainly IKEA's got a love-hate, or consumers have a love-hate with IKEA. Great convenience written into their brand and their products, but their products are also a pain in the butt. Some of them you know, challenge the quality of them. But IKEA obviously has done a great job of engaging a certain segment, and I think they're going to broaden it with this piece of work that comes from DDB in IKEA Austria, and I'll just play the video.
IKEA Austria uses a lot of paper for its packaging, and most of it ends up in the trash. Because when people buy something new, the story is always the same. The furniture stays, the package goes away. So we decided to change this equation. How? Turning packaging into cardboard objects. A bit extra ink, and voila! Cut and go, easy to build free objects. Not a strange idea to our customers. They're already used to building up their own things. This way they could experience the green attitude of IKEA day by day. We also offer customers the opportunity to create their own cardboard objects. An online platform in which they could suggest new products. Those most voted by the community finally made their way onto the cardboards and into people's homes. Soon enough, our objects became a cult among designers and trendsetters, and caused massive reactions on TV, in newspapers and on the internet. So everyone wins. Consumers get new products, Mother Earth gets healthier, and IKEA Austria proves its clean attitude, without spending a single cent in conventional media.
Very nice one. You know, conviction behind its brand, and actually it's an example of the next two things I'll speak about: collaboration with its clients and consumers, and also just general creativity. Moving on to collaboration, this is an important factor in gaining influence and driving swarms. In the old days, when consumers were passive and herd-like, things were pretty straightforward. Advertisers would take care of R&D, manufacturing, and distribution, and then work with agencies such as ours to create advertising, develop a media plan, and hopefully connect with consumers. The formula was relatively simple. Not so today. The human swarm really wants to participate. They want to have a say in how products and services look and what you should do better in result of it. Here's an interesting story about Dartmouth College in terms of collaboration. This is the quad, all the buildings surrounding this particular piece of green space, and they engaged an architect to lay out this grid work of sidewalks. And as you can see, it's not really a conventional grid work at all. What the architect waited and did was wait for the season of winter to happen, so the snow fell, and in order to make sure it was accurate as to how students passed building to building, all he did was wait and see how they tromped down the snow. And he laid that out then and laid the sidewalk in the spring of that year. So an interesting use of collaboration to come up with a better solution, an insight. You know, it's always these little things that excite us at the end of the day. Marketing doesn't have to be complex. It just has to be smart and appeal to how humans actually, you know, walk on this world. Some companies have been onto this collaboration for quite a while. Lego is one of them. Since 2005, Lego has offered kids downloadable software that allows them to design their own Lego creations. Lego then makes and ships the new product, and also it shows up on its website so other kids can have it too. But they take it a step further, and any kid's product that ends up there, that particular child designer gets 5% of the revenue. So a nice collaboration process, and I'm sure as any parent in the room would know, a good hedge against the college fund. Greenworks is a very interesting one as well too. Our people at DDB San Francisco saw an opportunity to work with our client Clorox, who was moving into its new green product, Greenworks. And I'll just show you the video because it's also born of a simple insight in this world.
I've never found that easy way of explaining what I do. I tell people that I make pictures by cleaning. Tonight we're making a mural that's about 140 feet long. It's downtown San Francisco, Broadway tunnel. It's really dirty, it's like a massive canvas. All the images are of indigenous plants from California that you may find in the area where that tunnel is now, maybe 500 years ago. The whole core of what I do is based around drawing in pollution and writing in nature. Seeing how dirty a wall is by cleaning it in this way, it kind of gets people immediately. They go up and they look at it and they think it's spray paint or something, and then it's just a cold realization that the world is really, really dirty.
Good morning. Yes, it's called reverse graffiti or clean tagging.
You might have seen it if you were driving down the Broadway tunnel in San Francisco.
simple insight, and one that was really born itself of impressive results. So you'll see that it was collaboration, but it was also